Hello and welcome to Mexico News Network's Daily Report. I'm your host, Mara Thompson. Today we have new information for you, but first, don't forget to visit us at mexiconewsnetwork.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, so you can always stay on top of all the relevant information on the positive side of Mexico and the world. Let's start with today's show. Have you ever heard of Bridgefy? It is a messaging app that lets you communicate with friends and family even when you don't have access to internet. And it was created by young Mexicans. Even though this app has been in the market for over 2 years, it is until now that it is catching people's attention. Bridgefy works in 3 ways: online, over a Wi-Fi network, and from person to person. The online service is very similar to WhatsApp with a connection to internet. In case you lose connection for whatever reason, you can use a Wi-Fi network as a bridge and talk to people who are linked to the same network, even if the Wi-Fi itself isn't working. The last option is the one that allows you to communicate directly with people from your contact list without a need for internet, as long as they are located within 70 meters from you. But how exactly does that work? All smartphones have a Wi-Fi antenna, which helps them interpret and receive data from the internet. What Bridgefy does is it uses that antenna to send messages directly from one cell phone to another, so that the actual mobile serves as a bridge. In general, the main fields of operation of the app will be for musical and sporting events, but it also seeks to maintain rural communities communicated when a natural disaster occurs. Many users have already tested the benefits of Bridgefy, since many began to download the app during Hurricane Patricia in Mexico back in 2015, and this helped them to stay in touch during the contingency. Seeing the potential of their project, the Mexican founders decided to sell all their belongings and move to the city of San Francisco to Silicon Valley, where they settled in and now are looking for new clients while the production and programming area continues in Mexico. Andy Warhol was one of the most representative artists of pop art, and now his work will be exhibited at the Jumex Museum in Mexico City. Andy Warhol was a controversial character, and undoubtedly his work within the use of mass diffusion images, such as Campbell's famous soup can, became one of the most interesting features of his work. The exhibition will cover the 3 floors of the museum, where his paintings, photographs, and other works will be displayed, including Red Mao, Yellow Mao, 16 Jackies, Bright Box, 4 Jackies, and Saturday. The Jumex Museum is open from Tuesday to Sunday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and has a cost of 30 pesos for Mexicans, 50 pesos for the foreign public. Students and seniors enter freely, and on Sundays, general admission is free. The impact generated in Mexico by the turbulent 20% increase in gasoline prices doesn't end there, as other products and services might become more expensive in the course of 2017. The announcement was made by the Secretariat of Finance and Public Credit on December 27th. Protesters from all states have already proclaimed themselves against this government decision, which until now raises a dangerous panorama for the purchasing power with which the average Mexican counts. The increases are starting with LP gas, which will also have to be liberalized starting this year. Now, each company will be able to establish the costs that seem adequate to them, and the consumer will have the option to choose. As far as public transportation is concerned, the National Confederation of Mexican Transports also raised its voice. In view of the rising gasoline prices, the drivers want to increase the prices for their service of their freight at least 20%. Taxi drivers of Mexico City asked the government of Miguel Ángel Mancera to increase rates. However, José Antonio Meade, the Secretariat of Finance and Public Credit, stated that public transportation doesn't pay gas taxes, therefore the rates should not increase. Other services such as Uber and Cabify responded that there will be no immediate increase in the rates, but that they will analyze it after the impact of increased fuel for their drivers. Regarding the basket of basic goods, the Confederation of the National Chambers of Commerce, Services, and Tourism explained that the rise in fuels will generate affectations in the production chains, and with this, the costs of the basket might be heightened. However, the Secretariat of Economy announced that it should not increase as much as gasoline. An example is tortillas, which will only increase 5 cents per kilogram. Currently, though, increases in dairy products can be expected to be between 8 and 10%, and some vegetables are already up 30%. So far, the National Council of Rice Producers of Mexico estimates that the cost of the product could rise between 25 and 30%. Also, the Secretariat of Foreign Affairs announced that the new costs for passports will increase somewhere between 20 to 75 pesos. On a final note, the various pay TV operators will also be affected. Sky said that because of the effect of inflation and the variation of the dollar costs to provide the service, starting January 3rd, the package's costs will be enhanced. This was all for today. My name is Mara Thompson, and this is Daily Report by Mexico News Network. Remember to follow us on our social networks and to log on to mexiconewsnetwork.com for more positive information on Mexico and the world. Thanks for stopping by. If you liked our content, remember to like and subscribe. If you want to always stay on top of the daily news, visit our playlist. For an in-depth analysis of the travel industry in Mexico, check the playlist of our Travel Insider or take a look at our written articles if you don't want to ever miss any detail of what's happening in Mexico and the world.